Good morning, everyone. Jen Tozser, your portfolio manager, here to talk about debt, good debt and bad debt. So without going into much explanation, I'm pretty sure you know that if you're carrying a balance on your credit card, that's bad debt. And if you have a mortgage on your house, that's probably good debt. But what's actually the definition? The definition, for me, is that if you're borrowing money and you're using that money to put towards something that creates tangible value, it's probably good debt. If you're borrowing money and you're investing it in something that has a higher rate of return than your cost of borrowing, that's probably good borrowing. But what about some scenarios? What should you be thinking about? So the first one is a rental property. Let's just say you've got your house, things are under control, you want to get a rental property, and you say, you know what, I'm going to borrow this money, I'm going to invest it in my rental property, and then that's good debt because my renters are going to pay down my mortgage. Well, not quite so fast. You need an accountant to help you because that's one part of the cost of a rental property. But what about the other parts of the cost? What about the taxes, the insurance, the opportunity cost because you didn't put your money in a different type of investment, the upkeep on your property, the potential realtor fees? It's a little bit bigger than just that. So if you want to go down that type of a path, get some help. Another question I often ask this to my kids and I say, so if you can borrow money at 5% and you can invest it at 8%, how much should you borrow? Well, they get the right answer. Well, they would say to me, well, obviously as much as possible. But we all know that's wrong. If you ever want to use borrowing for investing or leveraged investing, you need to make sure that you can actually afford to make those payments if your investment goes the wrong way. Okay, now the third thing I wanted to talk about is what about asset purchases for things that are disposable? I hear this all the time. I'm going to buy a car, I need $80,000, I want to take it from my portfolio. Now, if you're retired, that's fine. But if you're not retired and you're working, I'm going to tell you, I personally don't like to take capital that's growing and put it into an asset that's depreciating. I also don't want to go to the bank and get a consumer loan if I don't have to. So the best choice is to actually mimic your car payment before you have to buy the car. So if you think you want a car that's going to cost you $700 a month, then actually take it out of your lifestyle today. Don't go to your investment portfolio and say, yeah, I'll just take the money out because it's easier. You want that to grow. That's for a special purpose. And the final type of investing that people do is for their own business. And when they're doing something for their business, especially when they're getting started, in their mind, people will say, oh, it's okay to borrow, it's for my business. But be careful what you're borrowing for. Are you borrowing for an asset? Are you borrowing for something that depreciates? Are you borrowing for something that's just a straight out expense that will recur every single time you go to do whatever you're going to do? You need an accountant to see if you're borrowing what you should, the way that you should. So yes, when you borrow money, it can be good, it can be useful, but it could also not be as efficient as it should be. So get some help. It's a tricky topic. I hope you found this helpful. Have a good day.